Hello, this is Braden from Braden Productions, back again with another video. And today we are doing NATO Mission 4, Sea Road, one I previously described as the bane of my existence. General Portal says headquarters plans to wipe the Soviets out of Africa, cutting military ties, yada yada yada. Y'all can read that yourselves. It went by a little fast for me, even though I literally added the screenshot so I wouldn't miss it. So, first order of business. So, the hard thing about this mission is you're kind of doing multiple things at once, which I guess is kind of true for all of them, but it's especially true here, because you have to take out Egypt, you have to take out the port, you have to save Saudi Arabia, and you have to take Iraq, and what I can only assume is supposed to be Damascus. It's the Egyptian city in Syria, but it isn't Jerusalem. It's a unnamed city, so I'm just going to guess there. But the point is, you have to take it. And what I've learned from all the times I have failed at this mission over the years, because I've literally tried this one like 50 times in the past and couldn't get it. I literally got off the 1 star, and that's the only reason I passed it. And you'll see I can't even get the 3-star here. You know how I've done every mission so far on bronze? Not bronze. Silver? I had to do this one on bronze because it's just so difficult if you mess up, like, even remotely at all. Like some of the other missions, you can make a comeback. But this one, it just doesn't work like that. What I've learned is first order of business. See, the French, your allies, the French and the British, well, I guess you're the British too, but the other British, they'll help take out Egypt. So it's not as much of a concern. But the Soviet Union will just completely decimate Saudi Arabia if you don't show up and save them, and then they'll start going after you a lot. So you don't want that. In this mission too, you can't just take like the objective points, you know, because the Soviets will bomb the ever-living crap out of you with whatever they can possibly use. I mean, that city right next to Riyadh right there, that they'll bomb you with that. So you need to take that. And what you also need to do, not only do you need to land some of your generals in Saudi Arabia, but you also need to take out their navy, advance north to that carrier right next to Dubai and take him out, because he'll bomb the ever-living crap out of you if you don't. So that's something you have to do as well. As you can see, I have Commander England and Eisenhower moving up to Egypt, helping my allies with that. And I have Clark, because I finally bought him. Let's go. I got Clark, Kruger, and Commander America. They're dealing with Saudi Arabia, and I guess in the case of Commander America, the Navy around Saudi Arabia. And you'll see Kincaid will get deployed later, but I'm saving that until I can get a level 2 factory closer to the front. Because I don't like having to haul field artillery if I don't have to, because unless you have a general marching ability, it just takes frickin' ever for it to get to the front. And nobody wants to deal with that. As you can see, the Soviets have taken Riyadh. I got a little lucky this time, though. Normally, they'll just completely decimate Saudi Arabia and don't even care about anything else until you start showing up, but for whatever reason, I'm not even sure why, but for whatever reason in this game, they decided, you know what we need to do instead? You know, screw the objective points. Let's go take out Iran. I mean, I don't understand. Like, what do you gain from that? What do you gain from completely eradicating Iran when it's not an objective point? You know, it has 1 city and 1 oil field, so, I mean, I guess you're gaining some resources from it, but honestly not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I just don't understand. It was a complete waste of their time, but that's what they chose to do, and, you know, it made my job easier, so I can't complain too much. As you can see, I'm trying to play smart because I know Nasser, he's not the best general in the world, but he'll do a decent amount of damage if you just go completely, you know, just try to meat grinder him off of Cairo, you know. He'll just completely, you know, he'll mess you up a good bit. Like Eisenhower there, even he loses a lot of health fighting against Nasser on a commando on Cairo. That was just a bit of a pain in the butt, but it wasn't that bad because, you know, I had Commander England on the rocket artillery, so I had him giving supporting fire, and, you know, we did end up taking Cairo, as you'll see here in a little bit. Sorry my commentary isn't up to par. It's been a little bit of a... It's been a hot minute since I've last done one of these, and, you know, I'm not doing them that much anymore because I've kind of increased the standards for my content, which may just be the funny way of saying I'm lazy, but hey, it's basically the same level of laziness. I mean, I'm just focusing on, like, the bigger videos. Like, I'm working on YouTube Wars 13, guys. Like, my philosophy is, I was wrong with, like, the whole Content Friday thing and stuff. Like, I understand where I was coming from, obviously, but, like, it just wasn't worth it, You shouldn't just churn out, this is something I've always complained about other YouTubers doing, and I shouldn't be a hypocrite, just churning out content for the sake of having content out. Not even good content, just low effort, mediocre content, The way I see it, I should respect you guys more, okay? I should only put out videos that I myself would watch, alright? If I wouldn't sit through the entire video, ever, then, yeah, I shouldn't be releasing it. It's as simple as that. I mean, a lot of those videos, there's just nothing of value from them, or it's like an hour long of just me rambling, which I guess I'm kind of rambling here, but, it's kind of productive rambling in a way, because I'm, like, showing you guys how to complete the mission, so I guess it's not a complete waste. But no, rambling, reacting to my own video, it would be different, On the subject of the director's commentaries, I'm sorry to announce I'm probably not going to be doing those anymore, just because I don't trust myself to actually make a quality video out of that. I'm not cosmic mapping out here. His are actually pretty decent, I'd say, but mine are kind of meh. But I think it would be different if one of these days, because Ethan says he hasn't actually seen all of the mapping videos on the channel, I think it would be different if, one of these days we just, we watched, like, a phone or something, and Ethan was reacting to it with me. Like, that would be different, I think. I think it would actually be a productive video, something that people would actually watch. If that's something you guys would want to see, let me know in the comments. As you can see, I'm nuking Baghdad, because this is the hardest part of this mission, honestly, once you actually know what you're doing. It's taking Baghdad and that Syrian city, like, because it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's... it's just kind of a, it's like, you paratroop into Baghdad, Soviets empty the city, you rearm it, you missile, you missile the Syrian city, they keep, killing the unit on Baghdad, so it's kind of like, I guess, like a game of whack-a-mole, like, they just keep whacking your unit, you keep putting another one up, like, and then you don't have the money to actually take the other cities. So you need to be able to defend Baghdad while also being able to missile the other city enough that you can actually take it. I mean, it's a bit difficult. It's probably the hardest part of the mission once you get past, like, the initial rush. Like, oh, hey, Hainsley. I'm recording a video right now. Please do not stand on my computer. Yeah, guys, my cat just came in. That was a very random thing to happen. I wonder if they can hear you. Crinkling papers. I guess it's kind of my fault for having paper on the floor. Yeah, Eisenhower isn't looking so hot right now. I believe it's this coming turn he gets... I know they, like, missiled him or nuked him at some point. Yep, there we go. He died. Rest in peace. If y'all, I would... If you're not free to play, like, you're willing to, like, do in-app purchases and whatnot, because I know there's a lot of people who don't do that stuff. Like Ethan, he doesn't really do any of that stuff, but like if you're up for that sort of thing, I definitely recommend Eisenhower, like especially if he's on like sale or whatnot, because they don't really have it on the Windows version because EasyTech doesn't really maintain it very well, to be honest. But on like the Android and the iPhone version, I'm pretty sure they sometimes have sales where you could get them for cheaper, because I would agree that $20 is a little ridiculous for a general and a free-to-play game. Like, I definitely would agree with that. I mean, I kind of had my, I had my parents buy it for me for Christmas one time, It's different, okay? I didn't buy them myself, okay? I'm not even... Is that the first time I admitted this publicly, that I didn't buy Eisenhower myself? Hey, to be fair, I've gotten better about it. I have, like, because I figured out the magical thing. What you ask for Christmas, because, obviously your grandparents, they're like, why is any of this? Like, they don't know about any of this stuff, and, who can blame them? You just ask for Steam gift cards, and then you just buy whatever you want. That's what I do. That's why I have so many goated games on Steam, I say, even though I have 10, and one of those is Doki Doki Literature Club. Blah. Yeah, I don't know what my problem is either, okay? I'm not sure... See, I can't even get through a walkthrough without rambling about nothing. Like, y'all, what's wrong with me? Anyway, as you can see, we're clearing that city. I presume that's supposed to be... That's either supposed to be Dubai or, like, Muscat, based on the location. Muscat's the capital of Oman, for those of you who don't know. Oh, yeah, as you can see, Soviets took back Baghdad, but it's not a big deal because we're going to take it. One thing that was kind of concerning me a little bit was those two generals. The guy on the super heavy and the guy on the field artillery. They were starting to make me a little worried. Wait a second. That guy on the field artillery, that's Konev. Clark beat frickin' Konev, as you'll see. I actually managed to... I don't know if I beat him completely, but I got him like half health, and I think Clark survived the mission, you know. I recorded this last night. It was too late, you know. I'd worked, you know, yesterday till like 2:30, then I got home. And obviously when you get home after work, you just want to chill. Like, so I didn't actually record the commentary. I just thought, you know, oh, I'm bored. How about this? I'll record the gameplay for my next... World Conqueror 3 walkthrough, because my, you know, even though it's NATO 4, I'm sure my tech's advanced enough that it shouldn't be a problem. Plus, I have Clark now. Clark is actually pretty goated. Like, I'm not sure if y'all probably saw in the beginning, but I'm actually on the 3rd alien mission now, and I can't beat the 3rd one, alright? I just can't do it. You know, I'll try again, like, eventually, but, you know, it's a little difficult. And I only managed to beat the first 2 on 1 stars. But I think I might be able to, if I go with the right strategy, I might be able to beat, like, a conquest. An alien conquest, like, maybe, like, Thailand. Because Thailand's in a really good location. One of those countries that starts, like, they're not near, like, the main area, so they don't get completely rushed right away. But they also have a level 2 factory, and they're in a location where, you know, while they're not in a main area, they're still relatively close to other places. So I'd say, like, Thailand's a pretty good one for Alien Year. Just in case you ever want tips on who to play as an Alien Year. Thailand's a pretty good one. India's okay. The problem with them is you don't actually start with a level 2 factory. You have to like try to sneak into New Delhi and take it. You start with an artillery piece. If you didn't start with that, you'd be screwed, blued, and tattooed. Egypt is decent. You know, obviously like the bigger countries, you know, you could always make them work, like USA, Russia, China, but they're honestly pretty difficult. Like, especially if you don't know what you're doing, which little 12-year-old me obviously didn't. Bruh, that was such a... that was quite the moment. Like, discovering Alien Year for the first time. Like, and then, you know, trying to play through it and then just not knowing what to do, so you just got your butt kicked. Like, bruh, that's just nostalgic right there. Anyway, as you can see, we're getting pretty close to beating the mission. We just have to missile that city in Syria. Hope Soviets don't take Baghdad, and you know, I just narrowly missed the 3-star here. I couldn't get the 3-star because I was too busy playing this freaking game of whack-a-mole with the Soviet Union with Baghdad. Oh, that's what happened. Cork leveled up. Huh. Get owned, Konev. Not gonna lie, with my current level of technology, this mission was actually pretty fun. I remember when I had, like, my technology, it was, like, in the 20s or the 30s, I forget exactly, but I didn't have Kruger and I didn't have Clark at the time. It was just my 3 custom generals and then Eisenhower. I had Kincaid, too. I had Kincaid as well. But this mission was such a pain. Like, I could not get through this for the longest time, like I was saying. And now look. 3, 2, 1. I don't even bother rearming Baghdad because I don't have to. 3, 2, 1. Boom. We're done. Victory. 2 stars. Next up, Cuban Missile Crisis. Let's get out of here.